Hello, gorgeous, savvy women in business. I'm going to share with you today a little bit about where your restricted voice comes from. I'm Chris Piccone and I work with mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted women in business in order to unleash their authentic voice and claim their true worth. So I had a conversation earlier with somebody who's recently come off a plane from 3 weeks overseas, should be self-isolating and has been for most of the 2-week required period. However, in this conversation, she said to me that she just ducked to the chemist because she needed to get something. And it got me thinking about how many of us don't actually have a tough conversation with someone because of what goes on for us internally. So I went on to explain to her, you realize you need to be in self-isolation for 2 weeks. She said, yes, but I just ducked to the chemist. And I went on to explain to her the risk that she's putting everybody else through. So that aside, I just wanted to come on and talk to us women leaders about why it is that sometimes we may feel as though we're not able to articulate what it is that we feel is true for us and is in alignment with our values and our guidelines and our boundaries. Because I see it a lot with the women that I coach, in that I ask them in a particular situation that might be causing pain for them. Hi Jess, lovely to see you. I ask them in a particular situation that might be causing pain for them, why it is that they feel that they can't actually have the conversation that is burning deep inside their gut for them to have, when it could save time, save money, save energy. It could really help someone else to heal, or it could actually move someone else forward in their development. And it's something that you feel inside of you want to do, but there is something just tightening in your throat area. So let me explain this. Basically, regardless of any guidelines or boundaries or values that you may have developed as an individual, what goes on for us is this patriarchal voice inside our head, that voice from generations before us that tells you that it's not okay for you to speak up. It's not okay for you to voice your opinion. It's not okay for you to stand in objection to someone else. It's not okay for you to disagree with somebody else who is more senior to you, more educated than you, wealthier than you. This is something that a lot of my clients deal with as well, in regards to, but who am I to tell that person, look how wealthy they are, look how successful they are, look how accomplished they are, look how much older they are, well established they are. And I'm here to tell you that's a load of crap. If you've got something going on for you inside of you that is burning inside your belly that you need to voice, then what you're battling with when you can't voice that is actually all of those generations of messages coming through to you and telling you it's not okay for you to do that. So it's time for you to heal through that. It's time for you to really explore how that is costing you in your life, whether it's your life, whether it's your business. What is it costing you for you to not voice your opinion in that moment? Really sit down and make an assessment of where it is in those big milestone moments of your life you've not stepped forward, you've not challenged, you've not given feedback, you've not disagreed with someone respectfully, you've not spoken up on behalf of the masses who don't have a voice in that moment for themselves. And what has that cost you? So I think that's a really interesting exercise for us to do. I reassess and rewrite my boundaries and guidelines, both for life, relationships, and business, every September. So every September I go through a process where I do my goal setting. I do things like a projection for the next year, where I want to be, how many people I want to reach, who I want my message to be for, and how I'm going to deliver that message. And one of the other things that is really important as a jigsaw puzzle piece in that beautiful map is really, what are my boundaries and guidelines? What will I accept? What won't I accept? What will I get involved in? What won't I get involved in? What will I speak up for? What won't I speak up for? What do I stand for in this next 12 months ahead? And if you're curious, the reason why I do it in September and not around December, January like most people is because September is usually when I come back from overseas and I'm refreshed and revitalized. So I'm coming back and I'm starting anew with my year effectively. So I really encourage you to look at your boundaries and guidelines and understand those key moments throughout your past where you may have not stepped up, you may have not articulated yourself, you may have not stood your ground with something. And really ask yourself, what is it costing me right now? I can tell you it's probably costing you more than you think it is, because the conditioning is so deep within you. And so that constriction in your throat really is out of your control unless you go through a healing process in order to disassemble that. And so really look at that for yourself and really make it an assessment as to whether or not it's costing you enough that you want to do something about it. And if it is, I strongly urge you to get some healing through that, to go through a process of really understanding it, unpacking it, and looking at how you can actually move through it. I'm Chris Piccone. I look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow. I trust that helps. If this has been of value for you and you would love to have a consult with me, I am happy to share a strategy with you, bespoke for you, that if you implement can help eliminate the exhaustion for you. If you would like to book that, it's chrispiccone.com.au/consult. See you tomorrow.